Hey friends, Not Link here, and today I've got some Big Paintball 2 leaks that I want to talk to you about. So if you've been staying updated with the channel, I've been releasing short after short after short of all these brand new things that have been coming to Big Paintball 2, and you know what, there's just a lot here, so I figured let me just make an actual video about it and we can discuss it together. But at the end of the video, we are going to be reacting to footage that was sent to me because apparently there's like a new map, and apparently it's very weird. In a previous short, I discussed the actual gun splatters. So when your paint hits something, it comes with a different effect. So for a very brief moment here, you'll see, look at that. It splats on whatever's hitting, which is what you can see on screen. It also kind of explodes. So let's back up just a second here. Watch when it hits something. Ready? Look, see? It's like exploding into little fireworks. Now this changes constantly throughout these video clips. To give you an example of this change, we pop off to here, and instead of it being little paint splatters, it looks a little bit more like ice crystals. Now I don't know if that's because this is blue, but it kind of looks more crystal-like as opposed to splatter-like. Now something else I want to discuss is the radar. I could be remembering incorrectly, but when you launch a radar in previous versions, it did multiple different things. It would either have like an outline, it would either have a little diamond shape for you to see, sometimes it would have just them showing up in red, but when I use the radar now, it looks like it does all of the above. And that could just be me misremembering things, but I'm pretty sure it didn't do all of those things. But either way, I actually like it a lot because it shows people from the other side of the walls where they're actually moving, what their body looks like and what their body is doing, as opposed to just the little diamond shape like we see in Big Paintball 1, because the diamond shape is really nice, but it doesn't give you a very accurate description as to what the other person is doing, which if you're using the radar is kind of an important feature. Now, something else that was added is actually, in my opinion, a really nice change. When I actually get some tags, you'll be able to see that there are a lot of extra bonus ways to get credits, which in my opinion, first of all, is always a great thing, but kind of seeing how this layout so far is working with all of the guns and so many of the guns being in cases, you're gonna need a lot of money in order to get the guns that you actually want. Now, as an example, you can see right there, I tagged somebody, but I also got 75 credits for being the leader, which means currently I'm in first place, so every tag I get an extra bonus tag. There it is again. Now, on top of that, you get extra credits for sentries, kill streaks, friends with the person, or tagging a staff member or a developer. Ultimately, it just gives you so many more rewards than what we're used to. Now, this clip coming up shortly is one of my favorites because it'll give you an accurate description as to what I'm talking about. Tag, long shot, kill streak, triple tag. Look, there's even more. I've got 100 credits for being a sharpshooter, which I'm pretty sure is a headshot. I got 50 credits for impressive. What does that even mean? So because we've seen before that the crates are so expensive, I think the first one right now is like 15,000 credits. Having all of those extra ways to earn money, I think is very helpful. Now, in a previous short, we were discussing the dark matter guns. The dark matter guns are the most OP weapons in Big Paintball 1, and so we were discussing whether or not they were gonna actually be added into Big Paintball 2, because we have seen them be added. You can see Gavin using it right now in the background, and also joking in chat that he's gonna add Sujin, but seeing Gavin using these dark matter guns again in game has me a little bit concerned, because when we had the opportunity to try them out, they weren't super overpowered. It was really just the same as any other of the guns that we use, but knowing how overpowered they are in the first version of the game makes me just a little bit concerned as to the power coming up with these. Because one of the really cool things about Big Paintball 1 is that all of the guns have very different stats. The speed of the gun, the range of the gun, how fast you walk with the gun, whereas in Big Paintball 2, so far, I don't see much of that. Most of the guns are very similar. Some of the guns are a little bit faster, such as the mini guns, and they have a little bit of a worse range, but ultimately, they're not much different, especially if you go from one rifle to another. They're pretty much the same. So I'm wondering, is this going to be something that is going to be implemented throughout the entire game? Or is he going to actually update some of the speeds to make the guns slightly more different? And if he does update the guns to be slightly more different, that makes me very worried about the potential of these dark matter guns. But I know Gavin's going to be working very hard to try and make things as fair as possible for everybody, but I'd love to see some actual difference differences in the performances of the gun, and not just your standard minigun versus rifle. Now this is something minor, but something that I thought was quite cute. Big Paintball 2 changed its game icon from this to this. Now let's talk elevator. How many times have I come into this map, Cyber City, and gone straight over? I'm probably running to it right now. Let's just see. Yep, I'm running straight to it. How many times have I gone into this elevator and tried to figure out what in the world it does? Because I have seen it work before. I know it can work, but every time I go into it, it just doesn't, and it breaks my heart. Well, in this video, I get my answer. So somebody says in chat, you should make the elevator work, Gavin, to which I say, I agree. But you know what Gavin says to me? Gavin says the elevator is out of order. And maybe it'll be fixed one day, which means it's never gonna get fixed. Let's be honest. I just want to ride the elevator. It's not too much to ask, says the girl who's never developed a game in her life. Well, Gavin pulls out his silenced pistol. Now, I'm pretty sure a silenced pistol is a very, very, very rare gun to get. So he'll be able to tag me very, very shortly here. So pay attention. There it is. And I also want you to listen very closely. Here it comes. Ready? You hear that? Not only does it have this like anime effect where it absolutely slices me and takes my head off, but it also has this really unique sound. But what I think is quite interesting is the fact that it's called a silenced pistol. And this gun is anything but silent. But I called him out on it. And Gavin, trying to defend his precious gun, says it's silent in its own way. So this footage was provided by our friend Hey Dude Where's the Food, and I'm already a little bit nervous because in the chat it says the back rooms. Now I've not seen this before, so I have no idea, but the title does say long range map. But without further ado, let's just press play and see what happens. Yeah, what am I looking at What am I actually looking at right now? So there's a big archway that has zero texture, massive walls that have zero texture. I'm so confused. Oh my gosh, look how many people. In previous videos, I mentioned that they accidentally pushed an update through to Big Paintball 1 where they increased the server size to 50 players. And I said that was because of Big Paintball 2. I wasn't there for that. This is probably the day when they pushed that update through. Are those the other players? You can't even see them. They're ants. Surely this is not an actual map because we have seen actual maps in the process of development. Typically when a map is being developed, yes, it'll have no textures much like this. It'll just be gray walls, that kind of stuff. We've seen this before with Cyber City, the museum, but each of those maps had actual structures. Even if they weren't textured, we could still get a better understanding of what the map was like. Whereas this one, it's seemingly just gray walls. Okay, I've been watching Hey Dude Where's the Food walk over to this area for like 5 minutes. It literally takes so long. Oh, but he's finally managed to put a sentry down. Not that it's gonna do anything because it's gonna take the other team 10 minutes to walk over to it. Why did they test this weird map? Oh, now there's a wall in the middle. And why are they all at the top? Why are they spawning up? I'm so confused. But if you want to know when this game is coming out, we don't have any official dates yet, but I'd like to think that early access to the game, which is probably gonna cost about 400 Robux, will hopefully be coming out sooner rather than later. So I'd imagine, just based on how much the game is actually done, that it's probably going to come out sometime this month or very early next month. But if you enjoyed this video, I know you'll love that one. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.